Well, everybody, good evening. And here we are on episode number 48 of Beyond the Court. My co-host tonight might prefer me saying 48. This is Maria Renee Rodriguez. Maria Renee right now is ranked number 18 in the world in singles on the IRT, number 7 in doubles. I don't know if you knew
LPRT.
that. Yeah, well, LPRT, that's right.
Yeah.
You're also the player rep for the IRF, for the International Racquetball Federation, which is pretty cool because we're going to talk about some IRF stuff later, including rally scoring. You're also on the Sweet Caroline Open board. We're going to have the president of the board on shortly. And most recently, you received something super important. So congratulations on that. What's up?
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to be here, and we're looking forward to hearing from our guests tonight. We have a lot of interesting topics, so glad you guys are tuning in.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I appreciate you being here to do this with me, Maria. I did see, my old co-host or really partner, Ellie, online. So, Ellie, it's nice to see you watching. And I know I'm going to have you back soon because, he's a Hall of Famer now, Maria. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that somewhere. I think. Congratulations, Ellie. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. That's pretty cool. But before I tell you about the guests, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. I've been saying this all day. Maria, I know you're a dog mom, so you're still a mom. But
Yeah.
it's pretty simple, guys. And everyone, treat moms amazing every day. Every day should be special. Today's your day. Happy Mother's Day. I think it's the dads and the fathers that actually need that day because, we need to treat
just a
them
good
special
reminder.
all the time. It's a good reminder. So happy Mother's Day to everybody watching. I saw Maria Vargas out there watching. Happy Mother's Day to you. So we have Dean Baer from the IRT, Maria. He's going to talk about the New York Open next week because we have a busy weekend of racquetball coming up. We're going to talk to you and, of course, Jacob from the Sweet Caroline LPRT Open, which is also the same weekend. I have no problem with that when the men's and women's tours have events on the same weekends. We'll talk about that later. Then we're going to have Kyle Artman from Racquetball Vibes, guy that many don't know but are kind of getting to know because, the dude's doing some stuff on social media. He came out with some positive stuff, Racquetball Vibes. And then, of course, Maria, I know you know well, Mike Kinkin from Team Dovetail. Kind of talk to everybody a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, really excited for all these awesome guests, and let's get started.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah, are you?
I mean, I have to be because aren't you also working on a degree in mental health?
Yes, I'm getting my master's degree in counseling. It's taking a while. I'm taking it. I'm a part-time student, so I can really focus on my training. But yeah, I'm halfway through or more now, I think.
Well, that's pretty damn awesome. So good for you, and I know you'll do well on that. All right, so we're going to go to our first guest. We're going to bring him in right now. All right. I was going to do a little 20-second commercial. You know what? We are.
Okay.
Give me 20 seconds, and 20 seconds, I promise we're going to have Dean Baer right here. Don't move. Here comes Dean Baer. Dean Baer, what's up, buddy? Can't hear you.
Yeah.
We have no audio on Dean. That's
there we
better.
go. I can hear you now.
Okay, well then I won't use the headphones. I thought it would be easier, but I guess not. Hey guys, how are you?
So Dean, I know you're super busy. First, tell everybody you have guests from Bolivia in town. I heard. What's going on?
Yeah. There's quite a few of them. So I'm down in Little Italy right now. You can see probably got some wine behind me. I took them out for a little Italian dinner. You know what that's like, Sudsy. It's and they want to see the city. And to be honest, with the week that I have coming up, today's really the only day it's possible.
Yeah, so. There's no doubt about that. You're running a huge event back in New York. Dean, I've played there. Some of the memories are some of the most priceless. Maria, I'm sorry you missed it. I'm sorry Veronica missed it. Dean will tell you about it. But this event, they used to have 800, 1,000 plus, I think. But Dean, why don't you give everybody a little history about this event and the IRT, that what it means to be back there in New York again?
Well, we were here in 2019 was my last event. It was the Syosset Open, and that was the LPRT and an IRT Tier 1 with mixed pro doubles. It was fantastic. Unfortunately, this is my pro event, and we moved it. It used to be in January when Tom Keogh ran it. We moved it down to May just from logistics. You know, you have a tournament in New York in January and a little bit of weather, and you're in a lot of trouble. They've never had it, but it's just January is too busy for the IRT right now as it is. So it kind of worked out well. The club, as you know, the Syosset Club, it closed. So unfortunately, I got another club. It only has 5 courts. That's one of the reasons why I can't have the LPRT and the IRT again, because I would have loved to have it. When the two tours are in the same building, it's just so cool. I love it, actually. Fans love it. The players love it. So I really wish I could have it here, but there's just not, the facility's not big enough. So that was really it.
Maria, I know you had a question for Dean, something specific. You go ahead, fire away.
Yeah. Okay, Dean. Yeah. So I heard you're changing your reffing or you're improving it. So I just want to know more about it. Tell me how you guys are doing that now.
Well, Pablo Faje is the commissioner, so he literally makes all those decisions.
Okay.
And he's trying out a whole bunch of different refs. Scotty Mack he was pulled in many different directions, and so that's where we are now. And it's very difficult to find a ref. So you know, when you're having to change referees all over, you can appreciate when you had someone like Scotty there all the time. He was a staple. So we do miss him as part of the team. That's for sure. But Pablo's trying to work in a 3-man crew where it's kind of like the 3 people kind of ref the quarters, semis, and finals, and they switch them around from ref and line judge. And it doesn't always work because some guys are playing, you know, amateur divisions or other stuff. So we piece it together, and Pablo's done an amazing job. I really have to tip my hat to him. The IRT owners, with Mike Grizz at the helm, you know, we kind of went as far as we could, and now Pablo's really taken us into a different direction. So, but that's the philosophy behind the referee system. And I know you're a referee as well, right?
I was. I'm not the
Not
official
anymore?
ref anymore. But no, yeah, I think it's a great idea because to be the ref match after match after match is really tiring. So if you're
Correct.
at least being a line judge for one and then reffing again, at least you get a little bit of a mental break, you know? So
Yeah, and you kind of want
awesome.
consistency as a player. You know, you kind of don't want to ref a different ref every time. But if you look at baseball, you know, they have a crew, and sometimes the guy's behind the plate, and sometimes he's at third base, and in the playoffs he's, you know, left field. So I don't know.
Right.
We're trying it.
That's definitely one of the things, you know, that's been toughest, I think, for all of us as players, you know, as athletes, the refereeing. But you guys are doing a good job. Scotty Mack was amazing for you guys, you know, and you'll figure it out. You'll work it out. I wish that we didn't have players reffing other players, but we do it at every level in our sport.
I think I lost you, Sudsy.
Does he still have?
I lost the audio.
I can still hear you.
Okay. Dean, can you hear me now? I think it's you, buddy.
No, I can hear him. I can hear him.
Somebody's with Dean watching, and they said I could hear.
I don't know, Suds. Should I come back?
That was
Should I leave
Jay.
and come back?
Yeah, go ahead. You can leave and come back. Yeah, go ahead. So everybody says they hear Dean fine. He'll come back in. I'll bring him back in. But yeah, the reffing's always been a difficult thing. You know, it's never fun for anyone. You know, I hate to see players reffing players, but it is what it is right now. Let's bring Dean back in. We'll let him get out of here in a second. Dean, how about now? Can you hear me?
Sorry about that. I had an
No
alarm
worries.
set on my phone, and to make sure I don't mess up. And
No worries.
threw me for a
No
loop,
worries.
but-
So, Dean, before we let you go, I know you're down in Little Italy, which a lot of people, if you haven't been to Little Italy in New York City, get there ASAP. Dean, couple things. Number one, anybody you want to say thank you to for making the event happen. Also, you know, anything that you're super excited for. I did see, is my old rival going to be playing in your event?
There's a couple of rivals. So to thank anyone particular, it's like it's like impossible. I have a list of like 20 sponsors. So it takes an army. My brother Richie, who you know very well, he helps raise money He does all the food. So, I mean, I can't do it without him. But yeah, Cliff Swain is going to be here playing in 50 doubles, and Marty Hogan's going to be here playing in 50 doubles. So it should be pretty cool, to be honest. So I'm pretty excited.
That sounds excited. Make sure you have a bunch of those kids watching, paying attention to the way Cliff Swain goes about his business.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely different.
Yeah, Dean, on behalf of Racquetball and Maria, we spoke about this, and we're going to talk more about this. Thanks for everything that you're doing over there. It's not easy. It's not easy running an event, raising that money. I've done it. We've done it. Maria's done it, and it's important that we continue to do it. So I'll certainly be watching the IRT and the LPRT. I'll be double screened, and it's going to be a good time. So good luck. Have fun with that, and we'll definitely be speaking to you soon.
Thank you, and good luck to the LPRT this coming weekend. I know there's going to be a lot of racquetball online, and everyone's going to be excited. I know I am too. So, but thank you so much for having me on, Sudsy. Maria Renee, good luck down in at the Sweet Caroline. You guys got a whole committee. I'm a little jealous. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, we didn't start like that. In the beginning it was Jay and Lynette, and it's grown a lot. So, maybe that's your next step. And good luck this weekend too.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Thank you.
All right, Dean. See you later. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
All right, so let's go. Let's bring Jacob right in now. Let's keep it flowing here. Jacob, where are you? There you are. All right, I'm bringing Jacob in right now. Jacob V. I am not going to bite your last name.
That's okay. It reminds me of grade school all over again if you did.
Go ahead. How do you say it?
It's Verghese.
Verghese. Okay, Verghese. I like that. Maria, you probably knew that. So Jacob,
No, I actually didn't. I had that same question forever.
So Jacob, you are the president of the board of the Sweet Caroline LPRT Open, which you are running again. Thank you for that. Thank you. Racquetball thanks you. That's pretty awesome. So Jacob, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, because for you to do that takes on a lot of work, a lot of balls, quite frankly. And I don't just mean pro pens. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, how you got involved, how you brought Maria Renee in. And
Yeah, sure. No, that's a great question. First of all, I still don't feel like I'm qualified to be president. I was kind of forced into it. The joke that I tell is it's almost like a reverse dictatorship. I just got pushed in there like George Washington. I did not want it, but somebody needed to do the job. So I'm doing my best, and I've got a great team. Honestly, they do a lot. So I will say, Dean, you got to get a team, man. It makes a big difference. I can't imagine trying to do this by myself. But my background, I started playing racquetball when I was in high school. And unfortunately, it just kind of trailed off for me in college. I went to Clemson University, and my senior year, I found out they had a racquetball club. So, the typical racquetball marketing problem, right? So I got involved there, and then I took a little bit of time off again. And about 4 years ago, I got back involved at the sports club. So then I started working with Lynette and helping her do the leagues, and that just kind of progressed into the role I'm in today, is working with everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know, Veronica and I are running an event down here, and that's our team, actually, and our 2-year-old and 4-year-old, Jules and Mateo. So they keep us great, but it's so much work. So Maria, let me ask you, because now you're kind of a guest with me and Jacob here. You're competing and you're playing. God, that's difficult. So how do you balance that? And what do you do to help Jacob and help South Carolina and the LPRT, and of course your husband, Jerry, have a successful event while you're competing? What are you doing?
Right.
You're wearing so many hats.
Well, they don't put a lot of responsibility on me during the tournament, thankfully. So, that's just something like that helps me, just focus on playing while I'm there. And of course, like after I'm playing, I can definitely help. And then, so I did a little bit of fundraising before. I helped with a clinic, and then, I don't think I have a big role on the board, honestly. Like there's people that do way more than me, and I'm basically communicating with players or giving the perspective of the player, right? And also I'm really learning a lot from the board, and eventually I hope I can help fundraise more. But right now I'm like taking a seat and just learning how they are doing this because it's amazing. I don't know how we raise so much money for not only the tournament but also for charity. and it takes a lot of effort. And there's some really amazing people on our board that are doing a great job with it.
Yeah, you definitely do. So Jacob, I see my partner Kalani Lawrence is watching right now. She's live, or she's watching us live. Jacob, tell the girls, the ladies, whoever the fans, what to expect when they come to the event in Greensboro.
Sure. Yeah, in Greenville, South Carolina. Yeah, sure.
Greenville.
I think a lot of the ladies have been there before, and really, we try to focus and put a lot of the resources back into the tournament, back into things for the players, and I think that's where Maria Renee has a tremendous role, is as a consultant that we can directly go to and say, hey, what do you think of this as a player? How would you feel about this? A big item that we focus on is just quality food, and no offense to other tournaments, but nothing bothers me more as a player than Friday night, spend all this travel time, money to be there, and it's Papa John's pizza, right? It's just, I'm not going to eat that on a Friday night if I got to play early Saturday or even play later that night. So things like that, I think those finer details. So you can expect, hospitality, a great menu, and then we're going to kind of do a little party afterward for the pros Saturday night, trying to set up that final Saturday night. I know you guys did something similar at Vero Beach. So
yeah, we might have gotten the idea from there or not.
Yeah.
Well, so can you tell us a little bit about the party?
Sure. Yeah, so it's a new place in town. It's called Cowboy Up. It's kind of like a country music venue. They've got line dancing, bull riding. It's a really nice space. So we kind of got a private section.
Time out.
Yeah.
We're going to have to step it up. You have line dancing and bull riding?
Yep. We do. Yeah. We'll be sure to document it and see.
It's fun here in Vero.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, then that's the great thing about doing this Saturday night event. I mean, it really kind of gives you the flexibility to do some of that. And I went to the U.S. Open this past year, and I really liked how they kind of tried to do a lot of things for the players. That party with the pros idea is kind of where we got it from. And then seeing you in your tournament, the success it had, kind of doing a Friday night finals, we really wanted to try it. And credit to Jay Josie too. I mean, I couldn't do any of this without him. He really knows what he's doing when it comes to scheduling and making that kind of thing work.
Yeah, it's definitely anytime for anybody out there listening, and then I'm going to ask you both a question here. When you're going to do a professional event, we as pro players definitely like that kind of like intimate setting where it's super personal and we're there to compete and we want to ball and we want to go at it, go after each other. But then we want to show you another side of who we are. And the best way to do that is to be able to interact really and engage and socialize with everybody. So I love that you're doing that. I think that's awesome. I think that everybody should do that. And I do love the food thing now. So I see Robert Lyons online. Robert, what's up? Robert's a great guy down in Florida, Jacob. If you ever need somebody to run your event, like the amateur side, that's the guy. But anyway, so this is for both of you. Tell everybody how they can do it, right, Jacob? And Maria, we have so many people around the country. And here's what you hear. And you guys know, oh, we can't do it. It's too hard. You're doing it. You're doing it. So why don't you just kind of, in your own words, how do you get this done?
You want me to start or you want to start? That's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question. Okay, so I think the hardest thing maybe to bring a pro stop to your town is probably the money, right? You have to raise the prize money. So I think one thing the Sweet Carolina Open did was we are a 501c3, right, Jacob?
Yes.
So we're a nonprofit, so that's a really good way to go to any business and say, hey, you can get a tax write-off, you can help our tournaments, we're going to have the pros here, and then also we always give money to charity. So that's the other thing that we always say, like, hey, you're not only doing this for the tournament, you're also helping this cause this year. And I'll let you go on, Jacob.
Sure, yeah, and I'll just plug the charities. We try to focus on a local organization that just really resonates with our community. So when you're calling people and you're asking for food donations, right, the whole sales pitch is, hey, this helps us keep our costs down. And in the end, that's going to result in us being able to donate more money to this local charity. And somebody might know that. So this year we're doing Fostering Great Ideas. They're kind of a supplementary group that helps kids in foster care. And then Carolina Concerns of Police Survivors. So they help the families of fallen police officers. So, you go to these communities and the donors, local businesses, and you say, hey, this is who we're supporting, and it resonates with the community a lot more than, it's not nothing against a national group, but it just hits home for a lot of people. So that is certainly a key factor. And then, back to the original question, I mean, just having a team of people, right? It's such a close community, and you don't have to do a pro stop right away. Just try to do a 1 or 2 day event, kind of get into that. And then just reach out to the people that, have the experience doing that. And I certainly don't have the experience. I'm still learning this as I go, and just do the team. Having a good team makes all the difference. So that would be my advice.
That's awesome advice right there, Jacob. I didn't even think of that because, as usual, anyone that knows me will tell you I want to sprint before I know how to crawl, and I'm like, yeah, let's do a U.S. Open style event. But yeah, you definitely, and that's a good point too. We're constantly learning, right? And we're constantly trying to make it better and cut costs. And one of the things, Jacob, that I believe in, and I've spoken openly about this. I think it's important that people like you or your team or the directors or the people working actually make money, and that's frowned upon. It is in our sport. We've created this, oh my God, I got to count your money. You made money. What's up with that? But yet, time out. If you make money, I think that would inspire and motivate others to make money. I wish I can, stand on the top of the hill and go, hey, guess what, guys? Veronica and I make thousands and thousands of dollars. Here's how you can do it. So can you make money? Can you do it and make money?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question too. And I mean, not to knock the way that we currently do it, but it's a difficult business model operating strictly on donations. I mean, you can only survive on that way for so long. You're going to exhaust sponsors after a little while. It's hard to get those big platinum level sponsors, $5,000, $10,000.
I call it donor fatigue, Jacob. I call it donor fatigue.
100%.
We're going to talk to somebody later who I told them this might hit them. It's called donor fatigue.
Right. And we're running into that too, just, we're with the difficulties we're facing in the economy. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would love to see a business model more like a business where you would make money. Money's just a tool, right? And I know the work you do, Suzy, and I'm so impressed by it, how you reinvest in the community. And that's what we want to do. We're not just going to sit there and hoard all this money. We're going to reinvest that in the kids programs. Lynette Froelich does an incredible job with that. We want to invest in the courts, right? There's days where we're running out of space. That's a good problem to have, but you can't fix those problems without resources. So I would absolutely like to see a business model where we do make money. I'm all in favor of that. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them too.
Yeah, no, I mean, Maria will tell you, she knows me. I'm pretty transparent. I like to be accountable and responsible. The issue for me when I did this first event was people don't see the countless hours that we put into it behind the scenes. So it's like if you said, well, I'm going to charge you, I'm just $10 an hour, $100 an hour, $1,000 an hour for the work I'm doing off camera or off event, I lost thousands of dollars, right? But I think at the end of the day, I don't have the answer to that. I don't have what's the business model. The only thing I could tell you is that the relationships you're building are super important. I always start with number one, what can I do for you? If I'm coming to you, I first want to know what can I do to help you? How can I, help Jacob if you're going to be a potential sponsor or Maria wants to be involved? There's nothing better than when they call you and say, I want to be involved. Isn't that the truth?
Right. Yeah.
Well,
100%.
That's that. I mean, if Jacob, if there's anything I can do in the future, I know you got it all ready to go next week. You have a great team. I know Jerry is right off camera there with Maria.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Anybody
Thank
you
you.
want to thank? Anyone you want to say thank you to before I let you go?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, just some of our sponsors, David and Mary Swain. They've helped us since the beginning. They're the ones that started it. Piedmont Pain Management Group, Proactive MD. US Brick, and then all the volunteers that help. And Lynette, of course, she does a great job with the kids. So thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Jacob, thank you. We're going to let you go, and then Maria, Renee, and I will be getting ready to our next guest. Talk to you soon, Jacob. Thanks, bud. Good luck.
Have a great Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
So, yeah, good dude, man. I got to thank George DeWilloughby. You just do too much. He sent stars, and I love that. I really do love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
but I hate to ask for it, right? Like I hate to.
Yes.
I don't even like saying it at this point. But thank you so much. It's all appreciative. It really does all help. What a great dude, man! Just somebody that loves the sport, huh?
Yeah, we're lucky to have him and so many others. I think again our board has 12 or 15 people now. I don't even know exactly. And like you said, it takes so much work. Like we have meetings every month, like all year long to get this together. Like it's a lot of work. And but yeah, well, we have a good time, and the reason we all do it is because we love it. So yeah.
Isn't that the truth? At the end of the day, we just love it. So
Yes.
all right. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take 20 seconds. All right. We're
Okay.
going to be right back with our guest, Kyle Artman, also known as Racquetball Vibes, and a College Station, Texas resident. So don't move. We'll be back in 20 seconds. I promise. There he is. He's the Racquetball Vibes guy. What's up, Kyle?
How's it going? Can you hear me clear?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
We
cool.
hear you clear with a cool echo, but that's all right. It goes with the beard. It goes with the shirt. Dude, you're all racquetballed out, and that's a great thing. What's up? Tell us a little bit about you, man. A lot of people don't know. They just all of a sudden, whammo, there was this guy all over social media trying to do things, trying to bring like a positive vibe to the sport, which is much needed. But what's the deal? Who's Kyle Artman?
Well, I got involved in racquetball probably 8 years ago, and it was purely just me and my buddy. We got together, we're just chilling, watching a movie or whatever. He was going through some stuff in his life, and he's like, "Dude, I want to do something awesome." And I was like, "All right, I'm down." And he's like, "You ever played racquetball?" And I was like, what is that? I have no idea." So he had some rackets from like a very long time ago, and he's like, "Dude, I got racquetballs. I got the rackets. Let's just go down there and just see what happens." And the gym that we went to had like a two for $100 a piece for the year. So we signed up, and it was like, now that I know what a nice court is, these were bad. Like they were not nice courts at all. Like it was just, they had like
Bad,
a little
not meaning bad is good.
It was not very appealing, but yeah, it was fun. It was an interesting start. Before we knew the rules, we made up our own, and then people would come in and start playing with us, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's how you're supposed to do it." And we're like, "Oh, that makes so much sense now." So it was interesting to say the least in the beginning. So I started in Ocala, Florida, and I had a good friend of mine, Rashad Pleasant. I lived in an apartment, which this is a fun fact, super cool. There is an apartment complex in Ocala, Florida that has a beautiful glass back wall court as a part of the amenities of the community. Like an apartment complex with a racquetball court. Like how cool is that? So that was the entire reason why I rented that place. Well, on top of I wanted a garage. An apartment with a garage. But yeah, so I went down there like literally every single night for like a couple hours a night, and me and Rashad, we played together, and it was super crazy. Like I lost every single game for a solid 6 months. This was like when I was like super beginner, but I kept on coming back. I kept on playing because I loved it so much, and I actually lost a lot of weight doing it too. So I mean that was a huge benefit. So yeah, I started playing, and then he's like, "Dude, you need to join the Y." And it's like there's a league up there. They got tournaments and all stuff. And I was like, I'd never played any kind of sport. Like I was homeschooled, so sport was just like completely out of it. I was just going to school. So I joined the Y, and I met Rod Van Dyke. And Rod Van Dyke, as most everybody knows, is an awesome tournament director, Florida Racquetball Association. So I mean, he really got me more into it. And then the guys out there and started playing a lot more. Somebody that really, really inspired me is Steve Johnson. Like he was such an amazing person. Like rest in peace, Steve. But like, the involvement that Team Ocala had was just like amazing. So over the last like 4 or 5 years or so is when I've really been putting a lot of time into racquetball and trying to become competitive. And, I think it was 8 months ago I created Racquetball Vibes. There was just so much negativity. You know, there was things that everybody talks about is what people should do, or like, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should do that, and no one's actually doing anything. They're just saying it. You know, of the people that I saw before I got really involved, you know, there's a few people that are, you know, you, Sudsy, Maria, Mike Kinkin, Rod Van Dyke. I mean, the list goes on as far as the people that are actually doing things. But it was just, there's so much negativity. And like every time I went on to, you know, Facebook or Instagram or Googled or whatever, you know, it was just like, racquetball's dying. And I'm like, it's not dying. Like, it's just not too many people know about it now. You know, what can I do? I don't want to be a talker. I want to be a doer. So I was like, you know what? What's something cool that I can create that people can get behind? And, you know, either they wear a shirt or they talk about it, or it's just something funny. Like, you know, Leo, every time he sees me, he's like, vibes. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, and then everybody like knows me by that now. And it's like, it's super freaking awesome. Like the sport that I love, you know, I'm hoping I can just impact it in some kind of way. And I feel like just in these, you know, short 8 months, I feel like I'm accomplishing my goal slowly but surely.
There's no doubt. Maria?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I can't read what your shirt says, but
it's super shiny, but it says
Yeah, it
it
is.
says in my element,
okay.
and then it has like the racquetball court. Yeah, I ran out of white vinyl, so this was the only vinyl I had. I pulled it out, and my girlfriend's like, "Oh my gosh, that looks super cool!" And I was like, "I bet it's gonna look great on a shirt." So I pulled it out and I made it, and I was like, "All right, well, it's super shiny. It's not going to do well on camera, but it still looks awesome, so I'm going to wear it."
Cool, awesome. Yeah, and I mean, what you were just saying about all the negativity out there, like Sudsy, you and I were talking about it the other day. Like, I mean, there is actually a lot of people. There are a lot of people doing good things for racquetball, and yeah, like it's up to us, right? Like each person or each community has to do something for the sport, and then we'll see it grow. So, like, that's awesome that you're doing your part. That's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, so Kyle, Maria, I told you, Kyle had reached out to me. You know, we have our national championships coming up here in a couple of weeks, and that will be in College Station, Texas. And the USA Nationals, for those of you that don't know, is a U.S. team qualifying event, and the U.S. team goes there, or all players go, also amateurs, age divisions, but there's U.S. team qualifying events. And if we qualify for Team USA, we have a chance to go to the World Championships, which are, Maria, in August. Is that right?
Yeah, August in Mexico, in San Luis Potosí, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So that's in August. And I got to be honest, you know, I've been to a lot of places in the world, and I see College Station, Texas. And there's only one thing that jumped out at me about College Station, Texas, and that's Texas A&M, the Aggies, right? Other than that, I didn't really know anything about it. So, Kyle, you told me, you know, you were receiving some messages, some inquiries, so to speak, about what's there to do in Texas in College Station. Now,
yes.
To be fair, I've had a lot of amazing times in Texas, in the state of Texas. Not College Station. So tell us a little bit about College Station, Texas, because I know you live there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Texas A&M is my home court. So I'm there. I've played in all 14 courts there at one time or another. So I'm there pretty much at least 4 or 5 days a week. So, but yeah, College Station. Before my girlfriend decided to go to A&M for her master's, I had no idea where the heck College Station was. I didn't even know College Station was a town. I knew A&M was here, but I didn't know where A&M was. I thought it was like in Houston or Austin, you know, one of the cities we actually know is in Texas. So when we moved here, we were like, oh man, what are we going to do in Texas? Like, what is there to do in College Station? We don't have a Disney World, that's for sure. So it's nothing.
Trust
like
me, it's too busy anyway. You just don't. All you do is wait online. It's a million degrees out. Everything's too expensive. And at the end of the day, this is a true story, by the way. Now I'll tell you. First time Veronica and I took the kids to Disney, Maria, you'll like this. We walk in, we pay all this money. We're pushing the carriages around. We're in Magic Kingdom. We are under 2 hours in the park. As we're pushing the carriages, we look at each other and we go, what are we doing? We turned around and went back to the hotel and hung out by the pool. True story.
Yep, exactly. And that's honestly, it's close to 100 degrees here right now. So in like midday. So the cool thing about the rec facility in itself, like it's a huge gym. There's rock climbing. There's like 4 basketball courts. There's actually there's like 7 or 8 basketball courts. There's tons of people that are in there, honestly, on the regular. But they have like a full pool, indoor and outdoor. So if you want to hang out there at the club, but you don't want to actually like watch racquetball, which who would do that? But there's actually a nice pool that's outside with volleyball courts and all that fun stuff. And honestly, it'll handle a lot of people. But around surrounding College Station, there's like ice skating. There's like a nice little downtown bar-ish kind of place. There's an escape room. What else did I find? I found a couple other like little things.
What do you mean fine? You live there. You can't be
I-
searching things. You got to act like you know. Own it. You better own it.
I play racquetball here.
Well,
That's what I do in College Station.
Well, let me, Maria. This is for you too. True
Yeah.
question. I might open up a can of worms here, but I do see like Holly Ray Scott's online also, and some players are sneaking in. I saw Andres Acuna before. I don't give a what where I'm playing when I'm competing in an event, because guess why I'm there? I'm there to compete. And all my life, all these years that I played professionally, that I traveled the world, I can honestly say, sadly, I didn't really get to see where I was, because this was my goal. It was fly into the city, go to the hotel, go to the club, go kick ass, go back, and just repeat and repeat and repeat. I didn't care about sightseeing and seeing things. And I've been to more places than you can imagine, and I couldn't tell you anything about it other than how the room service was and what the airports were like. And of course, the clubs. So, I think depending on your goals and what you're looking to do, that comes into play. But that's just kind of how I always was. Maria, how do you feel? You play professionally and internationally as well.
Yeah, yes, no, and I think I go about it the same way. I mean, I very rarely do I go sightseeing, and if I do, it's always after the tournament. Like a couple of times, me and Jay have stayed 2 more days or something, like when we were in Boston, for example, a couple of years ago. But other than that, during the tournament, I'm totally focused on playing. And even in the international ones where we do have like a day off sometimes, I normally just stay and rest or go to the gym and hit around like that. That's it. Like I don't do much outside of the tournament. But like you said, I mean, your nationals will be, sorry, that's Luna. Your tournament will be, I mean, there's some amateur players coming too. So, I mean, I think it's a good idea to know what people can do while they're there.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to know. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be there playing doubles with Alex Landa, mixed doubles with Kalani. And as long as the hotel is cool and the food is decent and I can eat, I'm not worried. I might buy an A&M hat or something just because it's cool.
Absolutely. Have you? Are you staying at the conference center or one of the other hotels?
I'm not telling you where I'm staying. No.
I'm gonna come knock on your door, Sudsy.
I will be staying in College Station.
Okay.
And honestly,
I mean,
I don't, not to be evasive, even though I'm being a little evasive, I'm not sure what you mean by the conference center. Or I'm a Hilton guy, so one of the Hilton properties, pretty much.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The conference center is like right across the street. That was one of the questions that someone had asked, like as far as lodging and whatnot. The conference center is right across the street. It's like I don't know, maybe a 10-minute walk, because you have to go. It's across like the main road, and you got to go under this like little tunnel and whatnot. It's right across from the stadium, but across a main road to the rec center. And then the other hotel that they mentioned is about 3 or so miles away, which, I don't know if you want to walk, it'd be a long walk, but other than that, quick Uber ride and whatnot. But I know a lot of people are talking about the conference center in correlation as wondering where it was. And I wanted to ask you, because I wasn't sure, because this is one of the questions someone had for me. When they're doing the, what is it called? The
team qualifying?
No, the Hall of Fame, or the Hall of Fame introduction. Are they doing that at like the conference center, or they going to do it at the rec or at the other hotels?
I have no idea where they're doing that. I do know there were 2 inductees this year, Dave Azuma and my good friend John Ellis. So I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it, where they're doing it. But if they do it and you're in attendance, you should go check it out. I can tell you that the last one they did in Minneapolis was done at the host hotel at the U.S. Open. So I would guess that that's probably where it might be. But I would contact USA Racquetball because I have zero affiliation or say in what USA Racquetball does or does not do. I just love our sport and want the best for it. So, hey, all right, Kyle, before we let you go, Maria, do you have any more questions for Kyle?
Well, I'm just curious. Howard Walker, also a tournament director in Texas, he just said, "Eat Blue Bell." What is that?
The ice cream.
Oh, okay. All right. Typical Walker comment. Cool. All right. Well, I guess you can go. So let's see. I'm sure you'll go eat ice cream, right?
You know what? I mean, first of all, Howard, I didn't know what you meant either. I just put Eat Bluebell. I was like, oh, that must be a cool restaurant.
Yeah, that's the same.
But yeah, Maria will tell you I'm not one to shy away from a good ice cream. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I could definitely eat ice cream. And George, you're sending stars again. And you know I'm not going to keep saying stars because I don't love the way that sounds. But thank you. Much love always for that. So, Kyle, anything else you want to add before we let you go and we get to our next guest?
I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. I've been wanting to get on here to at least talk and introduce myself and show a little bit more people about what I'm trying to do. Honestly, it was kind of sad that the Nationals rescheduled, but at the same time, I kind of feel fortunate because I'm here in College Station and know like how wonderful the facility is, and I don't believe anybody's going to be let down at that. There's so many courts. They're all beautiful. There's 2 show courts, plus we got 2 more upstairs. Just everybody's going to be in awe of the facility. So it's one of the best ones that I've personally played in over the last year or so when I've been doing tournaments. So
just from a strategic standpoint, where's the glass on the show courts?
We have 2 show courts. So when you walk in, it's like a long hallway. There's a show court and a show court. So you got glass on the right, glass on the left.
Glass back walls or right or left side of the court?
They all have glass back wall, and then one's on the glass side wall, and the other's a glass side wall on the right and the left. And then we have up top viewing as well.
Okay, cool. So there's 2 show courts. One has back wall and left side glass. The other one has back wall and right side glass.
Correct.
I'm sure Sletsy's already visualizing, right?
You know I'm visualizing.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Kyle,
Absolutely.
I'll talk about that in a second. All right, Kyle, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. Love the beard. Not sure if you're getting into a country band yet or not, or maybe you're going to be an extra in I forget what that biker show was, but keep rocking.
Yes.
Hey,
Thank
stay
you.
positive. And the only other thing I'll tell you is, keep it real, maintain those relationships, because I do think it's important too. As much negativity that is out there, it's just perception. I think it's important that we talk about the difficult topics as well, and we need those voices. So, keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Absolutely. Hey, when's the next challenge coming out? You got to have something to practice.
I'll send you. I'll come up with one soon. Don't worry.
Awesome. I'm excited.
See you
Take it
later,
easy.
Kyle. Thanks, brother. Just another dude that loves the sport, Maria. I mean, come on, Let's be honest, right?
Yep, that's right.
I mean, we're filled with people that just love racquetball. And, that's the good and the bad, right? Like it continues with the people that have the love and the passion for it. But we do have to show them a way where it's beneficial and, they can make a career out of it. I'm sure, look at what Kyle does. He does a bunch of stuff online, social media. I know he puts in tons of time, showing the sport in his way, communicating it in his way that he's comfortable with. And it would be great to be able to present a way for these people to benefit from it financially as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely takes time. It's not easy. And I really just think we need to get the sport out there for more people to know it. Because I know, I've seen it. Like people actually, once they get to try it and play it for a while, they fall in love with it. So it's that simple, but it's complicated at the same time, right?
Well, the next guest, which we're going to bring on right after this quick commercial, is definitely in love with the sport. So we'll be back in 30 seconds with our next guest, Mike Kinkin from Team Dovetail. Mike, what is up, Mr. Dovetail? How are you, sir?
Hello. How you doing? Nice to see you guys.
We're
Doing
doing
well,
well. I've been seeing a bunch of you. Thank you. It's nice to see you, Mike. So, you know, again, like a couple of the other guests, you're super involved. You're heavily involved. You're spending money. Holly Ray Scott just gave you a shout out online right there. Hi, Holly Ray. And man, you're building a Dovetail team. You're building custom cabinets. By the way, the best in Florida as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, you're putting a lot of time and money into racquetball, Mike. Why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you're doing in our sport, and what you want to see happen?
Well, I've been involved in the sport for about 30 years. My father introduced it to me when I was about 18 years old. I played at a small club, one court. Really wasn't in love with the sport at first. And when I went away to the military, I was in the Air Force. Went to a couple of bases that had the courts and really fell in love with it. It was something to do. And became more and more involved. When I got out of the military, I moved back to my hometown in Illinois. Got involved with racquetball in Illinois with the Negrettis. They really loved the tournaments at Woodfield. They put on a nice pro shop and stuff, and that was my first experience. You know, it's a great time there, and you know that made me fall in love with the sport. And guy like Keith Miner was there, and great Illinois player, great contributor to the sport. Can't say enough good things about Keith. And then you know, I had an opportunity as I progressed a little bit, played with a couple of open players. I was a low open player. Played with Mike Locker, probably a name that you heard. Mike was a solid player. Took me under his wing a little bit, was able to play with him and, you know, do well in some doubles. Helped me improve the game and stuff. And then, you know, then I had to disappear for a little bit. My wife had cancer, and so I'm a little shaken up about it. And we ended up having to move to Florida, and it kind of changed our lives a little bit. We came down here and kind of made a commitment to her that, you know, I wasn't going to start another business. I was just going to go to work for people. We're going to raise our family and enjoy life. And, you know, my wife's doing great now. And we raised our kids, and kids got out of the house. I said, hey, I'm going to start a business. And she was right behind me with it. We started it up. I have a partner named Cindy Bovair, and she helped get organized and help me run the business. And can't say enough good things about, you know, everybody that's involved. So we've been going at this business for about 3 years. We've had some success with it. And then the pandemic hit, and started playing racquetball again. I know Rocky Carson out there, and him and I have been friends for about 20 years. And we've been friends outside of the court. And, you know, I was talking to him and his family and stuff, and the hard time that the pro players were having because of the pandemic. And so I reached out to him, and we talked and came up with kind of an agreement to help him along a little bit. And it kind of grew from there. I wanted him to play some doubles, and Lalo joins the team, and, you know, it keeps growing. I think I'm at my max, though. I think I'm at where I want to be. And I just want to, you know, say thank you to you for having us on board, so we can explain a little bit more what we're doing. But go ahead. I've talked enough.
No, that's fine, Mike. Thank you for your service, by the way. I didn't know you were in the Air Force. You know, we talk often, and it's great to hear that. I didn't know that about your wife either. So
yeah,
that's pretty amazing. Wow. So that kind of shook me a little bit too. So, but tell everybody this, you know, Dovetail is definitely making a name for itself out there in the racquetball community. And here we have Maria Renee, you know, a great player and a friend and somebody that is from Guatemala but lives here as well. How do you pick your team players, the team Dovetail members? How does that go about? Do they contact you? Do you contact them? You know, what does it take to be part of Team Dovetail?
Well, I think it's a great question. Originally, like I said, it was about Rocky and helping him out, and then getting more involved with the sport. I was talking with Rocky, and, you know, he wanted to play some doubles, and we were talking about potential fits that would fit for him in doubles, and Lalo came along, and, you know, Lalo is he's a great kid. He's a natural athlete. He's fun to be around. He's got a great sense of humor. And, you know, their first tournament together was in Sarasota, and the two of them ended up winning it. And then Lalo made it to the finals, ended up losing. But, hey, what a welcome addition to the team. And then we got Andreas Acuna that got involved. And that was through Zurich. Francisco had approached me and said, hey, how about if we kind of come together and help him out? He's another kid that he's a great guy. Everybody on the team are good, you know, what I consider good people. They're approachable. You're not going to see their name in the news for anything bad. You know, same thing with the two ladies on our team, with Kalani Lawrence and Holly Scott. You know, they're just good people. And I can't forget Sebastian Franco. Sebastian was actually the second person that I had, you know, kind of signed to the team. Sebastian, I was just a big fan of. I liked the way that he played. Really didn't know at the time how involved he was with Zurich, and that's great. Francisco's asked or answered a lot of questions for me on how he's doing it and what he's trying to do. And, you know, the two of us are just trying to really give back to the sport. I'm not a multimillionaire. You've heard me say this. I'm not some multimillionaire that's just sitting here that has a ton of money. I have to get up every morning, work, go to the shop, get my hands dirty, and, you know, perform the job. If I do that well, then it gives me enough excess money that I can help give back a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome, Mike. And you also have DJ Mendoza on your team, right?
That's correct. I was going to get to the juniors in a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I know DJ because I trained with him for a little bit in San Antonio. He's another great kid. So
yes,
I love seeing him on your team too. And I mean, that's great. I see you're supporting the players, but you're also promoting them on social media a lot, which I think is really cool. That's something that I think we need more of in racquetball. So.
And I think that's a big thing that separates us maybe from a lot of the other guys is I do spend a lot of time. I'm a fan of racquetball. And if I can help promote racquetball and get their name out there and stuff, and maybe it comes across the right person, and that right person ends up helping us all out. Because it's definitely not about me. It's about all of us. And I think if we keep blasting social media with the different names, the different tournaments that are going on, what's happening. Sam Scholes, who's really the first junior that I signed.
Sam's online watch. He's watching, Mike.
Oh, is he watching? Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting to take care of our social media to help me out a little bit because I do have a regular job and I'm a little bit of a workaholic. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to be in the spray booth spraying. I got a project to get out and I want to make sure that it's done. But you know, the guys that are on the team and stuff, they give me as much as I give them. If I need something and stuff, they're there for me. If they need something from other teammates, they're there for other teammates. Down at Beach Bash, I can't say what a success that was. The whole team came together. We stayed in a little house right across the courts, and it was fantastic. The bonding and everything that we had, I couldn't ask for anything more. It really solidified what I wanted to do, and that is to build strong relationships, to show people that the sport can survive. It can withstand this little downturn that we've had. It'll come back. It's too good of a sport not to. That's about what I can say on that.
Yeah, your mouth to God's ears, Mike. You know, you and I, we've developed a relationship. And
yes, we have.
We get to speak often. We bounce a lot of things off of each other, and you know, we've talked about this, and I hope this doesn't come across, you know, wrong, but again, just real. The sport over the years has created a group of what I like to say called mercenaries, right? And where we're all kind of out doing what we think is best to help the sport, because unfortunately we can't always rely on organizations or associations to help us, quite frankly. You know, everybody kind of has to pick and choose what they think is best and how to help the sport. So, you know, Mike, you're obviously doing that, and you know, you're spending money without being detailed unless you want. You have this huge team. Can you just kind of give us a little bit about what you do for the team besides the obvious social media promotion, which that's a whole nother story. I would love to give classes to anybody that wants to know how to promote themselves and maximize their value. But, you know, maybe you help them financially, events, tournaments. You know, what do you do for them?
Well, I help them financially. I have a set amount for each player. I help them, you know, if they came to me and needed some other help or something, or needed some guidance, we provide that. I had Lalo here at our house for about 4 weeks. I think then he went to Maria Renee's house right after that for a week or so.
Oh, he actually went to my brother-in-law's. But yeah, he was, yeah. We spent some time together, played some pickleball together. But yeah, he was with Josh.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I meant it's whatever that they need. I have a fixed budget. I don't have unlimited money. And I've kind of made that clear to everybody, but we're willing to help wherever help's needed. The biggest thing is help promoting them and keep their name out there, keep them relevant. We post, you know, every couple of days, there's some type of post with Team Dovetail. We love this. We love the sport, and everybody that's on the team loves the sport, and they're all doing it, you know, for the right reason. And, you know, one of the things that I did want to just kind of bring up real quick is each one of these players is going to have kind of a junior that's going to fall underneath them, that they're going to kind of to guide and mentor. Rocky's got a guy. Andreas Kuna has a couple of guys out there. And we're gonna do more of that. You know, Holly working out with the kids and stuff out there in San Antonio. You know, she's gonna be a big help with them out there. I know Kalani and her mom and stuff are doing things out in their area. So it's important for me with the juniors, you know, to have that really take off. And that's probably where you're going to start seeing a lot more of our emphasis is going to be the juniors. We're going to have a strong presence in the pro tours. We have to, because if we don't have pro tours, then the kids have nothing to aspire to. And if we can't inspire them, then we might as well just hang it up right now. Let's just turn off the camera, go home and eat some ice cream.
Yeah, we speak about that often. I think that the
Yes, we do.
professional tours are the guiding force. And, you know, I see Sam Schultz. He's going to be playing mixed doubles with my partner this weekend. So, Sam, you better be careful. Make sure she doesn't get hurt, because I will hold you personally responsible. Okay. So make sure you have fun. And yeah, Maria, can you just please tell everybody what that squeaking is, as Holly Ray pointed out?
Yeah, I'm so used to it. I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah, sorry, that's my dog Luna. She's looking at me like, come play with me, please. You've been sitting down for too long.
Yeah, we know Luna, and that's why, you know, let me take this quick opportunity to say, hey, Malia Bailey, happy Mother's Day to you. We see you online as well. Mike just said a couple things about you, so happy Mother's Day. And yeah, I want a Belgian Malinois. Somebody once told me that that's the dog I'd be. So thank you for that. So
wow,
Mike,
yeah, that makes sense. They never stop.
Thanks, Maria. So here's my question to you, Mike. And again, I know we've talked about this offline. My concern is that you're doing all this great stuff. You know, you really are. You're helping a lot of players. It's incredibly important. You and I and a few others are talking about doing something totally different and unique, focused on junior racquetball. We'll just leave it at that for now.
Right.
My fear is donor fatigue.
Yes.
You know, that you wake up one day and there is no ROI, and you say, this is great and I love it, and these people, these players are great, and Kalani and Holly and Andres and Rocky and Lalo and Sebastian and whoever it is that you're helping. But my fear is, you know, it just runs out, and you wouldn't be wrong for that. You know, you wouldn't be wrong for that if you said it just didn't make sense anymore. So how do we as players stop that from happening for someone like yourself that does support so much?
Well, you know, it's a tough question, because right now I'm just doing it for the love. You know, we went out and we do some T-shirts and that helps a little bit. But I'm just really doing it because of the love of the game. I look at somebody like a Keith Miner or Randy Root, some of those bigger donors out there that really have helped keep the sport going and keep the organizations going. I'm just trying to do my little part that I can. But believe me, I look up to them and you know, think, man, if it wasn't for them, where would we be? And hopefully someday we can look back and say, hey, if it wasn't for him, where would we be at this point? And hopefully we can grow it. Hopefully we can, we can get enough traction. We get that one big sponsor, everybody that keeps talking about. But you know what? If there's other guys like me out there, I'm not making tons and tons of money, but I'm willing to give back just a little bit. If we can help one player, David Kerr helps Sam Murray out. Okay. David Kerr came to me. He's with Culligan Water, and came to me and said, hey, how do you do it? What do you do? I said, you know what? Sit down with the player. Find somebody that you like. Sit down with them. Ask them, hey, how can I help you? Hey, $200 goes a long ways. Okay. Hey, would we like it to be 1,000? Would we like it for it to be 2,000? Sure, we would. But $200 goes a long way. And if we can get more guys doing that, giving $200 here and there, that'll help out tremendously. And then, maybe one day we'll get that big sponsor everybody's talking about. But I'll tell you this, and this is going to be hard to say, okay? But if we don't get going with our national tournaments and make them a big deal, we're not going to go anywhere, okay? I understand that we have a small unit of people that are doing this. And I'm not trying to say anybody's at fault. It's all of our fault. We're a community. We have to come together for it. But, to have 200 people at our national tournament and not to see very much publication about it, it breaks my heart, because it's like, what are we doing? Why can't we have 400, 500, 600 people like at the U.S. Open? U.S. Open was a huge deal. It meant a lot to a lot of people. Having that show court meant a lot. But you know what? Hey, nobody's reached out to me from our organization to say, hey, how can you help? Okay.
Well, that's what feeds and creates that mercenary type mentality.
Right.
And, the one thing, and again, we speak very frankly, personally together.
Yes, we
do. I do think, though, there needs to be accountability and responsibility. And yeah, there's people at fault. I think there's a lot of great, amazing people in our sport, but that doesn't mean you're doing a great job at the position that you're in,
Right.
or what your role is supposed to be doing. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers.
No.
We're just doing everything we can. And I think that's all we can continue to do without getting super negative and, changing the direction of this discussion.
Right.
With that, before we let you go, Maria, is there anything else you want to ask Mike before we let him go?
Well, I just want to say that I hope people are listening to this and that they follow what you said about $200 goes a long way. You're absolutely right. Like, I think if more people can do that and help more players in that small way, or even $100, seriously, I think that's a great way to start. And I'm just like, again, just thank you for all of what you're doing with your team. I think it's great. And I hope you inspired somebody today to do the same thing.
I hope so as well. And, we're going to have some news coming up, Sudsy, Maria, Renee, we're going to have some news coming up. We're probably are going to have a couple of changes to the team. We're definitely going to be adding a new junior. We're going to be announcing him either tomorrow or Tuesday and stuff. Young kid out of Chicago and stuff. And I got to throw out a quick shout out to Joey Logan. He introduced me to him. Joey's running some outdoor tournaments and stuff, doing a great job with that stuff, trying to promote that part of the sector. I think outdoor, indoor, we all need to come together. We're all swinging a racket. We're all hitting a little ball.
I say it all the time. It's give us a racket, give us a ball, give us a wall. We'll figure it out. So, hey, Mike Kinkin, Team Dovetail, again, on behalf of every racquetball player on this planet that you're helping directly or not, you're helping them. Thank you so much for what you do, because you also, you support events. You supported our event in
and ours.
You support the Greenville event. You support IRT events. And you're doing a lot, and it's people like you, and we thank you. And to your credit and to your point, guys like Keith Miner and Randy Root, maybe they do inspire and motivate you. That's kind of one of the things I like to try to do, is inspire and motivate people in different ways. And I think those are two guys that don't realize that, you're inspired by their actions too.
Yes.
Not, maybe they don't love the camera. I can tell you personally, Randy does not love the camera. I've asked him a million times, so I'm going to get him on camera, but it's only when I'm right next to him in Kansas City, which I'll be there in June. But Mike, thank you so much. If there was an award we can give you, You know what? We're going to talk about that. But beyond the portal
Yeah, we
world,
should.
yeah, we will. It's another conversation. So, Mike, seriously, thank you. Keep up the amazing work. If there, I'm always here. We speak often. If there's anything I could do, Maria can do. Do your thing. Racquetball loves you, and we'll talk soon for sure. Okay.
That sounds great, man.
All right, Mike.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you
guys.
again.
Thank you.
So, Maria, it's crazy because the theme of tonight seems to be people that love the sport, just like you and I.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
And it's great, right? We love it, but again, my fear is a guy like Mike. My concern is he wakes up one day and says, there is no ROI, and he feels good about helping, and I've seen it. I've been around many, many years,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of those people that come and go, and they give so much, and they really don't want anything back in return. A lot of people just feel good about helping.
Yes.
I mean, whether right here, whether you're sending stars or you send a Venmo, listen, $1 helps. Trust me, with what we do is in racquetball, it helps. But at the end of the day, at some point, the fatigue sets in, Maria.
Right. And now I'm gonna go into not only the sponsor part, but also the player. Like if I didn't have I get paid like every month by the government in Guatemala, by the Olympic Committee. If I didn't have that, like I don't know how I would do this. Like I'm really impressed by the U.S. players like Kalani and Holly that Mike is helping, because like I guess now they have another program, so maybe but I mean, for years you guys haven't had anything, right? So like, I mean, it's really hard, and like I've also thought, I mean, I've put myself in that position, and I'd say like, yeah, what is the return on investment? How hard do I have to work on this to make a living when I could just go take any job and do it, and do better. So I mean, yeah, like from every point, sponsor, player, it's hard, and yeah, it's a good question. How do we keep it up?
Yeah, you're 100% right. And guess what? Veronica and she wants to go to Kansas. I'm going there to work. Randy Root hires me to go, and she's training and playing, but it's just too damn expensive. I don't think she can get there. We have to bring not only Veronica and we have to bring our 2 kids. So just to get there, and if anybody has searched flights recently, it's a couple $1,000s in flights alone. So I don't think Veronica's going to go. So we know exactly, what you're talking about. And that's us, right? So if I'm feeling that, and I'm working my ass off, and this is my livelihood, and I'm like, well, damn, my wife, who to me is one of the best players in the world, and anybody that knows the sport, we can't go just because we can't afford it. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
That sucks. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do every single damn day, is to make all of you rich. Because I talk about it all the time, people like Paola or Kane or Cliff Swain or myself, we should have our own private jets flying around the world and, fronting events. And that just never happened. And if I could do that now, right, it's not about me. It's about the sport, Maria. I want the sport to do well. And whatever the hell I can do to help the sport, I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm not going to rely on anybody else's help. I'm going to do what I think is best. I'm going to, do it with respect. Always keep, a clear mind as far as what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. But it is tough, and still to this day, I have some sponsors and supporters that I'll turn around and do some things, Veronica and I, for other people and players, whether it's doing the LPRT event or these little donations that matter. And they do go a long way, so
yeah. Yes.
It is important. It is important. But with that, let's talk about this, because, check this out. I'm going to let you talk about it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Satsi and Vero are having the Vero Beach again next year in January. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Like Jacob talked about our food at our tournament. I think that was one of the things you guys did great, was that we had food the whole tournament, good food, and that's very, as a player, that's great to have. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be there again. It's it's a lot of work for you guys, but just glad that it's happening.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, everybody says, was it hard work? I'm like, yeah, damn, it was a lot of hard work. I said, but it was so worth it, man. Seeing all of you, enjoy it. And I was really just wanted to make it about all of you. And obviously Veronica has to do with that, but she didn't, you know, she kind of said, babe, do it what you think and how. And I said, okay, whatever I do, if I lose money, if we spend more, I wanted to do everything for you. And we're going to try to do that again. And, you know, that's the plan, to make another really, really cool tournament. I could tell you this, I'll just say it right now, Maria, and you're the first to know, and everybody watching. There is a chance that we do change clubs and we add an amateur event to it. It's not confirmed. Speaking with my little team that I'm slowly building here locally, because one of the things I loved about it was the intimacy of just the pros. You know, it was just the pro ladies. It was awesome. It was super cool. But I'm thinking about adding an amateur division, and if we amateurs, and if we do that, you know, we have to move clubs because we only have the 2 courts. So we'll see.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's
anyway,
awesome.
We'll see. So Maria, I want to, you know, say thank you so much. Thank you for really coming out tonight and joining me. And of course, your husband, Jerry, who helped us out with some of the technical stuff before. I want to thank all of our guests, Dean Bear, Jacob. Can you say his last name?
I already forgot. Jacob V. We'll just keep it at Jacob.
V.
Or the president, although he hates that title. He hates me. He hates it when I call him the president, but Jacob.
Well, Kyle Artman, Mike Kinkin, of course, you, Maria. Unfortunately, we don't have enough moms watching this show, but to you mothers that are watching it, happy Mother's Day. You're amazing every day, and we should treat you on a different level every day. Us dads, give us like a half a day a year, you know. Other than that, until next time, we will definitely see you again. Maybe we'll have Maria Renee back. Maybe we won't, but we definitely will, Maria. If I don't see you before then, hey, Maria, good luck next week in your event. Get some sleep, get some rest. Good luck to all the IRT players and to all of you racquetball players and fans out there. We love you. We do this for you. I'm inspired and I'm motivated by you. It's about the sport. So go play it, go introduce it, talk about it, whatever it takes. And we'll see you soon. Have an amazing, amazing night. See you later. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.